charming, magnetic people don't try hard for attention. What they do is actually so much simpler. Watch this clip of Ranveer Singh. See if you can figure out what he's doing at the end of this clip.
You're Ranveer, and you say, "Good morning, sir." Okay? Anil sir has just entered.
Good morning, sir.
क्या लग रहा हो यार?
And that brings us to the habit we just saw, commitment. Now, to make people laugh, there are two ways to do it. Commit completely or be completely dry in your delivery. But maybe you don't know how to crack jokes. What you might not know is there are simple structures that you can use. The first one is exaggeration to the extreme. Think of the literal answer to a question and then exaggerate it for comedic effect.
How many movies has Priyanka Chopra done with Akshay Kumar?
I couldn't tell you. That I really nobody knows. I mean, maybe a couple dozen. I don't know.
Exaggeration is also useful when you exaggerate your reaction. Obviously, this is an over-the-top example, but it's a good example of why this works.
I think he's an incredible actor. And he has, I complimented you. Oh no.
But an easier structure is to just say the opposite. Think of a literal answer to a question and then say the opposite.
The most iconic Khan in your opinion?
Kamal R. Khan.
Now, if you truly want to be magnetic, you need to master congruent conversation. I go over this in detail in the confidence module of my step-by-step program, but for now, congruence means aligning your verbal and non-verbal communication. Congruence is important because it's the best way to project external confidence. Step 1 is to make sure you have attention. One way to do that is through your hands. Watch his hand gestures here.
It flows into you.
Sometimes, I must tell you, when you're playing these characters who you know are historical.
Another way to make sure you have attention is through hook lines.
That's funny you say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Whenever you say something like, "I have to tell you this," or "it's funny you say that," people will immediately be curious about what you're going to say next, and that way, you won't have to worry about being interrupted. But when I said congruence earlier, it can be confusing to understand what that means and how you can do it. So I've broken it down into two simple habits. The first one is using gestures to emphasize your important points.
I'm a huge fan of Rajkumar Hirani films. They're so colorful, vibrant, clean, family entertainers with something to say, yet entertaining through and through.
The other way you can project confidence through congruence is by guiding conversation to topics you care about and then expressing your internal excitement.
You watch Christian Bale and you see one movie of his, man, you can't believe it's the same guy. It's like that. Also Christian Bale, but he's Batman also, but he's the machinist also, but he's this also. He's looking like the way he's looking, and he's become this other person for American Hustle, and I find that tremendously exciting.
All of these habits will be helpful to you when you tell stories. A great way to tell a story is to start by talking about how it's supposed to make you feel.
I'll tell you a funny story.
You can replace funny with interesting, embarrassing, unfortunate, or anything else. When you do tell the story, change your voice to match the character of your stories.
Gratitude, guys. Love your life.
Obviously, he's an actor, but any change to your voice or speaking cadence is enough when you're telling a story. You can also adopt the body language of the characters in your story.
So it took her about on day 3, verbatim, I'm done. I quit. I'm going home.
Again, your impressions don't have to be perfect. They just have to be different from your normal speaking style. But let's say you don't have the confidence to apply all these habits. That brings us to the most important part of today's video, avoiding the denial of death.
In life, I like to be light-footed.
Right.
I like to walk through this journey of light-footed because we all know the inevitable destination. We all going to die someday.
This is not meant to depress you, but to inspire you to realize that we spend so much of our time worrying about stuff that will not matter in a few weeks, let alone a few years. The best way I know of how to do this is to live in accordance with the warrior archetype. Now, to teach you about this archetype and why you should care about it, I brought on Charlie from Charisma on Command. Before Charlie takes over, you should know that an archetype is the part of yourself that knows how to live to your full potential. And one feature of the warrior archetype is that the warrior does not deny death. Here's Charlie telling you more about it.
Death is often denied in the modern era. So much of our society is organized around hiding it from ourselves. Our sick and our dying are removed from communal spaces, so that by the time we're adults, most of us have actually only seen maybe a handful of dead bodies. And the death we do encounter is in video games and media, where it's easily surmounted and stripped of its full weight. or it's something that happens over there in another part of the world to people unlike us. The warrior knows, though, that death walks with him at every moment, and this fills every moment with overwhelming gratitude.
The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal. Because any moment might be our last. Everything's more beautiful because we're doomed.
His time on earth is a blessing that will not last forever, and this spurs him to live fully without shame. This is liberating because so many men are drowning in shame. Don't cry, don't laugh too loudly, don't look dumb singing or dancing or enjoying yourself too much, or God forbid, trying earnestly and failing. But in the face of death, all of those concerns are irrelevant. So the warrior sings, dances, laughs, plays, and fights all out. He lives with an open heart because there is nothing to lose, and he is magnetic to others because he is fully alive.
Those who cling to death live.
Those who cling to life die.
If you remember that all of this is temporary, you will focus automatically on the few things that matter to you. And ultimately, that is the gift of death. I'll link to Charisma on Command below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.